Okay, so let's get into it. There's this new savings vehicle that's got parents and financial planners all buzzing. It's called the Trump account, created under that massive new bill, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act.
That's right. And our mission today is really to break down how this thing stacks up against the tools we already know. Things like the 529 plan or a standard custodial account.
Mhm.
We want to give you a clear roadmap.
And the thing that grabs you right away, the big hook, is that one-time $1,000 federal seed contribution.
Hmm.
If your child is a U.S. citizen born between January 1, 2025 and December 31st, 2028, they get that money. And here's the key part. There are absolutely no income limits to get it.
Right. And to define the account, it's basically a traditional IRA for a minor. But the really crucial part is that it completely bypasses the normal IRA rule. The child doesn't need any earned income.
So anyone can contribute.
Parents, grandparents.
Exactly. Anyone can contribute up to $5,000 a year, and that cap will, adjust for inflation after 2027. But I have to ask about the investment options. They seem super restrictive. Isn't that a little counterintuitive for long-term growth for a baby?
It is, but it's a deliberate choice. The legislation is trying to keep it simple and extremely low cost. You're limited to a very small menu, just low-cost index funds or ETFs that track U.S. stock indices, with a fee cap of 0.10%.
So simplicity, but also rigidity. I hear the funds are pretty much locked up.
They are. Generally, you can't withdraw them until the child turns 18.
Okay, if you can live with that, then the real decision point for families has to be the PAX situation. What's the trade-off here? This is where it gets complicated.
This is the crux of it. A 529 plan has that amazing education advantage. Earnings grow tax-deferred and then come out completely tax-free for qualified education expenses.
And that includes K through 12, right? Up to a limit.
Right, up to $20,000 a year for K-12. The Trump account, on the other hand, grows tax-deferred, but the earnings are taxed when you take them out.
Okay, hold on. We say taxed like it's a huge drawback, but isn't the strategic play here that the child is the one paying that tax?
Go on.
I mean, an 18-year-old is probably in their lowest ever tax bracket. That tax hit could be minimal compared to what the parents would pay today on those same gains.
That is precisely the point. The tax is at the beneficiary's rate, which provides a massive benefit. It makes this a really powerful tool for intergenerational wealth transfer, even with the tax.
Interesting. Now let's talk flexibility. A 529 is known for being super flexible. You can change the beneficiary, you can front load 5 years of gifts, almost $200,000.
And the Trump account is the polar opposite. It's completely rigid.
So one account per child, and that's it. No moving it to a sibling if the first kid gets a scholarship?
None of that. The 529 is the clear winner for flexibility and just the sheer amount you can contribute.
But we can't ignore the growth potential. The Council Economic Advisors ran the numbers. They said a baby born in 2026 with max contributions could have over $300,000 by age 18.
303,800 under median returns. It's a huge number.
That's not just savings, that's foundational wealth. It could fundamentally change an 18-year-old's start in life.
And that gets to its greatest strength. What you can do with it after age 18. It just becomes a traditional IRA. So the money can be used for anything. A down payment on a house, starting a business, or just letting it grow for retirement. A 529 just can't do that.
So let's bring this all together. For our listeners trying to make these big decisions, what's the bottom line recommendation?
Financial experts are pretty much in agreement on this. The advice is a dual strategy. You absolutely open the Trump account to claim that free money, that $1,000 grant, use it for long-term flexible savings. But the 529 should still be your primary tool for education savings because of its powerful tax-free status for school costs.
That really is the tension here, isn't it? Tax-free use for school now versus maximum flexibility for life later. But let me leave you, the listener, with one last provocative thought. The success of this whole program depends on the Treasury setting up and managing millions of these small accounts. And there's no auto-enrollment for that $1,000 grant. Parents have to actively go out and register. So will the logistical hurdles be the biggest barrier for families actually trying to get this benefit? Something to think about.